Born in 1885 in Mecca, within the then Ottoman Empire, Faisal ibn Hussein was destined from birth to play a pivotal role in reshaping the Arab world in the turbulent transition from empire to modern nation-state. The son of Sharif Hussein of Mecca, a Hashemite descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, Faisal grew up amid religious authority, political expectations, and deep cultural pride. He was raised with the values of leadership and responsibility, receiving traditional Islamic education alongside modern military training at the Istanbul Military Academy, where he was groomed as part of the Ottoman elite. Yet, despite his Ottoman ties, young Faisal increasingly absorbed the growing sense of Arab nationalism brewing across the empire, especially as the central government in Istanbul tightened its grip and marginalized Arab voices. As the 20th century dawned and the Ottoman Empire teetered on decline, Faisal emerged as a quiet yet determined figure advocating for Arab self-determination. When World War I erupted, he and his father aligned with the British against the Ottomans, hoping to gain independence for Arab lands in return. Faisal's greatest early legacy was his leadership in the Arab Revolt, 1916 to 1918, where, alongside T. E. Lawrence, immortalized as Lawrence of Arabia, he led Bedouin tribes across the harsh deserts of the Middle East to attack Ottoman outposts, liberate key cities, and advance the dream of an Arab kingdom. His political sophistication matched his military leadership. He negotiated with both Arab and British officials, trying to balance promises and realities. After the war, however, Arab dreams collided with European imperial interests. In 1920, Faisal briefly became king of a newly declared Arab kingdom of Syria, based in Damascus, but this was short-lived. The French, acting under the Sykes-Picot Agreement, invaded and ousted him after the Battle of Massillon. Though defeated, Faisal gained international attention as a capable and modern-minded Arab leader. The British, recognizing his utility and seeking a stabilizing figure for their colonial interests, offered him a new throne, this time in Iraq, a country newly cobbled together from the former Ottoman provinces of Basra, Baghdad, and Mosul. In 1921, after a managed referendum and under British mandate, Faisal was crowned king of Iraq. Though initially seen as a foreign outsider by some Iraqi factions, Faisal worked tirelessly to unify a deeply divided land composed of Sunni Arabs, Shiites, Kurds, and others, each with their own grievances and identities. He knew that the concept of Iraq was still fragile, more a colonial invention than a national consensus, and so he began laying the foundation of a real Iraqi identity. Fluent in politics, diplomacy, and cultural sensitivity, Faisal blended traditional Arab leadership with modern nation-building tactics. He promoted education, state institutions, and infrastructure while trying to bridge sectarian divides. He was a modernizer at heart, advocating for secular governance and civic institutions that transcended tribal and sectarian loyalties. Yet, this vision constantly clashed with the realities on the ground: ethnic unrest, British interference, and deep-rooted distrust among Iraq's populations. Faisal maintained a careful balancing act, appearing as a monarch of the people, while also being tied to British interests that many Iraqis resented. Despite the constraints of the British mandate, he subtly resisted colonial overreach, pushing for greater Iraqi autonomy and representation. Under his reign, Iraq saw the drafting of its first constitution, the formation of a parliament, and steps toward an independent foreign policy. One of his proudest achievements was guiding Iraq to join the League of Nations in 1932, marking its formal emergence as an independent sovereign state, although Britain retained military and economic influence. Behind the scenes, Faisal continued to advocate for broader Arab unity, believing that the fragmentation of the Arab world by European powers was a tragedy that needed to be reversed. He maintained correspondence with pan-Arab thinkers and kept ties with Hashemite family members in Transjordan, now Jordan, hoping for a future federation of Arab nations. Personally, Faisal was known as calm, disciplined, and intellectually curious. He had a quiet demeanor but commanded respect through wisdom and vision. He married Huzaima bint Nasser and had several children, including Ghazi, who would succeed him. As the 1930s progressed, Faisal's health began to deteriorate. Years of political stress, combined with asthma and heart issues, wore down the once vibrant leader. In 1933, while in Switzerland seeking medical treatment, Faisal died suddenly of a heart attack at the age of just 48. His death shocked the Arab world. Many saw him not only as Iraq's first king, but as a symbol of what the Arab world might have achieved had foreign domination not crushed its early aspirations. Though his reign was marked by compromise and turbulence, he succeeded in giving Iraq a shape, a voice, and an identity. He left behind a fragile but functioning monarchy, a vision of unity, and a legacy as one of the first modern Arab leaders who tried to navigate both tradition and progress, nationalism and colonialism, unity and diversity. His son, Ghazi, would ascend to the throne, but Iraq would remain unstable in the decades to follow. Still, Faisal's role in shaping Iraq's foundations and planting the seeds of Arab nationalism left a mark far beyond his short reign. To this day, historians debate whether Faisal was a British puppet or an Arab patriot, but what's undeniable is that in an era of shifting empires and broken promises, he stood as a rare figure who dreamed of Arab unity and statehood and worked tirelessly, if imperfectly, to achieve it.